Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of T3TV. My name is Todd Gallina and I am here to talk to you a little bit about Trace3 and the NFL. As you guys know, the NFL season is kicking off here shortly, and Trace3 is the official analytics partner of the Detroit Lions. Together with the team, we built out the most sophisticated analytics war room in the NFL for the 2022 season with the goal to provide greater fan experience for the team. And at the conclusion of 2023, the Detroit Lions indeed won #1 in the NFL for fan experience. Together, we're thrilled. But we are entering into a new season, 2024, and we have more to do with the analytics war room. That phase will include bringing in some player data and further enhancing the fan experience. Many of you have seen videos of Ashton Mullinek speaking at the MIT Sloan conference where he went into deep technical detail on the build out for the analytics war room. I invite you to go and check that out whenever you want. We also had an amazing press day for the war room where we had many people from the Lions community, from the large Detroit community, come by and get a walkthrough of what we're doing with the analytics war room. And we also invite you to check out some of the video footage we have for that. Okay guys, as promised, we have a very special guest on the show. Please welcome Pro Bowl wide receiver from the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra, welcome.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for hopping on the show. So you are your own podcaster, big fan of the show.
Thank you.
Was it everything you expected, doing your own podcast?
Yeah, it was, it started off really just me and my brother. 33rd team approached us and was like, we want to do a podcast. You guys want to do it? We're like, sure, we'll do it. The first year was, something small. I think we missed a few weeks. We weren't even, doing it every week, but we got some feedback from, some fans. They said they liked it, whatever. The second year we started doing it and it got a little bigger and, we started doing it every Wednesday, came out, we never missed a week. And so, being, on time with the content and everything really helped. And we had some cool guests on. So this year we're trying to do it even bigger and better. And I think we got a shot, but it's been a lot of fun. Obviously some days I'm like, damn, I really don't want to do this. But at the end, it's always a lot of fun to talk to different people and have different guests on. So I love it.
Yeah, so are you in a recording schedule that has you doing multiple episodes in one sitting and then you deploy them, or you record one, post one, that type of thing?
Yeah, so we record every Tuesday. So every week on Tuesday, we record once a week. And it comes out on Wednesday. So Tuesdays, those are off days in the NFL for the most part. If you don't play on, if you play on Monday, it might be a little different. But Sunday games, Tuesdays are off day. So we record on Tuesdays, have the guests on, and then release it on Wednesdays.
Oh, that's great. We obviously we listen in, and your most recent one had your father on there, which is hilarious. Everyone loves your dad because we saw him on Hard Knocks on HBO, see him on the Netflix show. Some classic lines. I think he reminds us a little bit of the best of all of our fathers. These lines where there's no such thing as lazy kids, only lazy parents. He seems like he talks about weightlifting, which is amazing. He seems like a fairly intense guy, but when I hear you and your brother interviewing him, you guys seem very playful. It seems like you have a terrific relationship with him.
Yeah, definitely. He was, I think growing up as kids, everyone thinks he was super tough on us and, that strict dad that wouldn't let his sons do anything. I would say, he was both. He was, when we were on the field working out and stuff, he was always super, particular and disciplining us and everything that we can to try to become those those professional athletes that we want to become. But off the field, he was a loving father. We joked around with him. We went to the beach, did everything that a normal kid would do. So it really depends on what situation, what scenario we were in with him, with how he parented us and how he guided us. But he was awesome. He was able to switch from dad mode to trainer mode, which we all really loved.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, so we mentioned being on the Netflix show, and one of the first times we got a chance to spend some time with you was when you visited our Trace3 Detroit Lions analytics war room for a press day. You had the whole Netflix crew following you around. So what was that like? First of all, just having a video crew pretty much with you most of the time.
Yeah, it was honestly, it wasn't too invasive. A lot of people think that they were with me 24/7 all day, every day. But that's not really the reality of it. They recorded a practice a week, so that would be a Wednesday practice. They'd mic me up and then come to practice and record that. Obviously, I'd be mic'd up every game, and then outside of that, it was, you know, it wouldn't be like we want you to go do this. Can we come record it? It was, I heard you're doing this on this day. Can we just be a fly on the wall and record it? So actually, when I went to go visit the Trace3 War Room, they came and recorded that because that was something that I already had planned. They were like, "Can we come and shoot that?" I was like, "Sure, let's do it." And so that was my first time going. It was an awesome experience to see everything. Because as players, I feel like we know what Ford Field is like, when we're on the field. We don't know anything about Ford Field when we're outside of it, the fan experience and everything. So to see that side of it was amazing. Was there to talk to the Boys and Girls Club, and they recorded all that. It didn't make the show, unfortunately. I wish it would have, but it was an awesome experience just to see, the background of everything.
Oh man, it was great. It was great having you. Yeah, we we wish it would have made it onto the
Right.
series too. Have you had a chance to go back and check out the War Room?
Yeah, I actually went back one more time just to check it out. I was at Ford Field doing something else, and they asked if I wanted to come see it. I said, "Yeah, let's do it," because I've only been there, like I said, that first time when I went to do that event. But it's just awesome to see the technology. I'm a big tech guy, and to see how everything, how they scan. I mean, they're reading faces, seeing people of different ages, everything. It's amazing to see and to be able to integrate that into the whole fan experience. I mean, that's why Detroit is, we got the number one fan experience in the NFL. You got stuff like that. You got the tools. We got everything we need. So now it's time for us to go make plays on the field.
Yeah, yeah. Number one in fan experience. That was such exciting news when we got that. Hey, so the last time we saw you was actually during the NFL draft. The city of Detroit hosted it. Trace3 had an event there. You were able to come by. It was literally the day that you signed your contract. And, it was funny because you were at our event. You were tremendously generous with your time, spent some time with the Trace3 folks and the clients that we had there and others. So we shook hands and we waved goodbye. And I swear, like, it looked like 5 minutes after you left, you run on to this giant stage in the middle of Detroit before the first pick. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Showing up obviously the event, the Trace3 event was fun. Got to shake hands, meet some people there, and then it was actually right after, like you said, right after I signed my contract. So I knew I was going to do the pick, not the pick, but come out and they were going to introduce some of the players for the draft. I didn't know I was going to sign, that day or even that week. So I had my outfit ready, the suit that I had, but that was actually the suit that I did my signing in. So I was like, let me sign in this suit. I'm going to do the Trace3 event in this suit. I'm going to do everything in this suit in this day because I'm not going to change. So I had the same suit on all day. But it was a lot of fun. They brought out Eminem, me, Jared, Aiden, Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson. It was an epic intro, but that was a lot of fun. I mean, the amount of fans that were there I felt like I was at a concert, to be honest. I felt like I was, Drake or Travis Scott up there looking at thousands of people down in Detroit. But it was an experience that I'll never forget.
Oh, it was amazing just to see the crowd. Everyone was in such a great mood. They had that giant, colossal poster that took up a side of a building with Hutch on there, and it was and Detroit showed out really, really well. I spent 3 days there, hit a Tiger game, but
Yeah.
it was a beautiful weekend. I mean, it was perfect. So what a winning day for Detroit. So talking about the draft, can you guys are obviously wrapping up training camp. Tell us a little bit about the new faces. Tell us about your first pick, Terrion Arnold from Bama.
Yeah. I mean, they look pretty good. They look solid. I feel like Brad Holmes does a great job of drafting. Obviously, he's drafted my class. I feel like is one of the best classes that
For
that I've
sure.
seen, that I've been around. Just every year he's stacking great classes. So this year, I mean, you got Terrion Arnold. He's been doing great. He's sticky in coverage. To be so young and to really understand defenses, I can't wait to see what he does this year. And it's Rakestraw, another DB that they drafted in the second round, has been doing great job. A physical guy. Sione Vaki, running back. I mean, you guys saw in the last 2 preseason games, he's been balling out, running the ball and out the backfield, catching it. Who else did we get? Wingo, D tackle from LSU. He's been amazing. Got a tackle from British Columbia. So this class, I mean, it's hard to say now. Obviously, it's only training camp, but as the season goes on, I mean, each class kind of, they mold into their own and become, one of a kind. So I can't wait to see this class. Like I said, Brad Holmes and all the guys upstairs do a great job of evaluating and drafting. So I know this class is going to be just as good as the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, the classes you guys have brought in have been topping the NFL. Where you were drafted, again, amazing, terrific story. You guys, I mean, you've kept almost everybody from that team that went to the NFC Championship game, a game that I was at, and I'm going to try to forget that whole thing.
Right.
But you brought all that talent back, and then you guys went all offensive line and defense, which I think is an area where you guys were hoping to bolster up. So we're expecting good things here as fans. What's the expectation for you guys?
I feel like we're ready. We're excited. Obviously last year was a successful season all in all, but focusing on the end, it was something that we fell short. We felt like we had the game in our hands, but we did everything. We basically stopped ourselves. We feel like we did all the mistakes that we had. Obviously the Niners played a great game, but we felt like we came up short, and it was our wrongdoing. So this year going into it, we want to make sure that we're doing all the right stuff to obviously to get to that point again. But when we do get to that point, to capitalize and to finish. So we got to do more than we did last year. We have to work harder, train harder, meet harder. Everything we got to do together. But it's going to take a group effort. We understand that. We know teams are going to be we're not the same old lines that we were before 3 years ago. Teams know, what we have, the players that we have in this, in our locker room, the coaches that we have, and so the target is bigger on our back. Teams are coming into Detroit now, understanding that it's going to be a tough game, and they're going to bring their A game every game. So we got to bring our A game to win, and we're excited. We got a lot of primetime games, so we can put our talent on display, but nothing's going to be handed to us. We understand that, so it's going to be a tough year, but a fun one.
Yeah. I was surprised when I saw the schedule come out and they literally did a repeat of the 2 playoff games that you won as game 1 and game 2. I don't think the schedule makers did you any favors by repeating your game with the Rams and then again with Tampa.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a whole different conversation. But no matter what, the folks from Trace3 and the whole entire Trace3 ecosystem are going to be rooting you guys on. We'll be there for the first game, just like we were there for your home playoff game. Amon-Ra, thank you so much for being a friend of the company and coming on the show, buddy. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Todd. Thank you so much for having me, man.
How awesome was that? But the excitement isn't over. We have one more major announcement, and that is that Trace3 has partnered with its second NFL team, that team being the Denver Broncos. We're working with them to build out their artificial intelligence plan moving forward. Therefore, Trace3 will be the official artificial intelligence consultancy of the Denver Broncos, and we will have much more to talk to you about that in future episodes. But at least as it pertains to the Trace3 side, we are definitely rooting for a Detroit Lions Denver Broncos Super Bowl. Okay, guys, well, that's all I have for you on this episode of T3TV. I really appreciate you swinging by, and we will catch you on our next episode where we will be talking about Trace3's movement into the vertical space in both healthcare and financial services. We'll see you next time.